How you doing? This is Kenny with Sound Deluxe. We're doing our most recent kit in the Mercedes Sprinter van. This is for the 19 and up current vehicle. So what you want to do is remove your door panel, and we'll show you a video on how to do that step-by-step process. So you're going to start by removing the door plugs that are here, and then behind these door plugs there'll be Torx bits. What it takes to disassemble this vehicle is it's going to be a T20 and a T27 as well as a Phillips. And you'll see there's various sizes throughout the whole door panel. Just remember where they went because they are specific. You'll remove a bolt here after you get the plug. There's going to be one down in the door cup itself, the handle grab. There's going to be one down in there that you'll remove the plug, and then there's a Torx bit there. Also one here in the actual door handle as well. There's going to be one down here and also over here in this area right there. So there's two Torx there, and then there'll be 3 plastic Phillips screws that go right there. Once that's all removed and out, then you'll start by removing this piece where the actual door lock piece goes. So this just pops straight up, boom, just like that. You have to have this out in order for the door panel to come off. Once you have everything else off, you can start by popping the door plugs. It does have some keepers at the bottom to prevent the door panel from swinging completely off. So you'll start by pulling in whatever area you feel more comfortable with. We start at the top generally here on the Mercedes because of the clips at the bottom. Make sure you get your clips released all the way around like so, and then it can hang just like that right there. Then you're going to want to come inside the door and you'll release the door handle cable. There's a clip right here. You can see in the camera here, you just lift this up, swing it over, and then pull up on the clip, and that'll get the cable removed. Then hold on to the door panel at that point because the wires are very short, and you're going to remove, there's going to be 4 plugs you're going to remove plus the speaker plug. Okay, so just start at the top and work your way down. They're very easy to remove. You just push in the detent and slide them out. Once they're all out and everything, the door panel will be completely released. You'll roll the door panel down like this and then pull it out this way. That'll release those bottom clips right there. Once that's all done, door panel's off, then you can start by removing your vapor barrier and so on, and we'll show you videos of that and how that goes, okay? This is gonna be a 3-part kit, okay? So we're gonna have an insert that's gonna go inside here on the outer skin, and you're gonna see it's gonna kind of taper around the door handle right here and underneath this bracing on the metal. You're going to want to kind of just feed it in through this way, only peel off portion of the backing, get it tacked up, then you're going to want to peel off the rest of the backing there. Then we have another kit that's coming up to the front right here that's going to go around here. You want to be really careful in this area because it does get very thin, so just take your time and don't rush it. And then we're going to have another piece that's going to fill in the bottom section right here. As always, you want to prep the door, make sure it's completely dust free and doesn't have any grease or anything like that. Use a microfiber and like a glass cleaner or even acetone if it's really greasy. And basically the full prep of the door is remove the vapor barrier, slide your piece in here. Then you want to unclip this module right here. It's pretty simple. In the front side, there's a clip right here, and you'll just pinch it just like so. It'll come out towards the front, and then you roll out the back, and then it just hooks in right here. So we've gone completely around this harness, so you won't have any problems fitting everything back in. The harness should just fit right around it. These wires right here, and this is what you're going to have to pull through the SoundSkin kit. Other than that, it's pretty straightforward. So we'll get started on the install. All right, so here we have the insert. This is going to go on the outer door skin. This is what you're going to be feeding through here. Some vehicles may have the factory sound dampening in here. If they do, it's fine to go over the top of it. SoundSkins will stick to it, no problem. We've already tested it. If it doesn't have it, then don't worry about it. Just go right over the metal itself. And so, like always, we want to start from peeling the backing off. But on this piece, we're going to want to start from the front area, which is this part. That's going to be going in the very front. So I'll lay it down on the ground. It's a little bit easier to peel the backing off that way. And we want to peel it off probably a little bit more than halfway. That way, once it's in, we can grab it from behind and then peel off the rest of the backing once we have it tacked in place. So it will be a little bit tricky to do, but just take your time and do it right. So you want to get about this much pulled back on it right here, and then you're just gonna feed it through here best you can, trying not to let it touch the metal. Like so. So now we've got it in pretty much all the way, and then you can see where we have this cut right here. That's going to be lining up with a sub bracket that's back here that's made for bracing. So you want to just make sure that that's in place there, and it goes under that bracket completely like so. And then once that's all done, start at the top and tack it into place, and then you're going to flip it back, and then you peel off the rest of the material, the backing material, just like that. Okay, we got all the backing off, and then once the backing's off, make sure you start at the top and work your way down until you get to the brace. Once you get to the brace, you want to try to tuck it into it as tight as possible to go around that brace. So just like so. And then once you get to the bottom of the brace, tuck it back in again, just like that. Make sure it's super, super secure. So really do your diligence and make sure it's adhered as best as possible. We definitely don't want this coming off. So do your prep work, make sure there's no dust or dirt inside there, and stick it, and then you're all good to go. So that's the first part of our install, is doing the insert. The second part will be the big frame on the outside, and the third part will be our bottom piece. All right, so here we are installing our outer frame piece on the Sprinter van. It's a very, very sensitive piece. It's okay if it rips, but try not to do it. So just take your time peeling off the backing. The best thing to do is always lay it down flat on the ground. All right, now we have our backing peeled off about halfway down, and we're going to reference this door plug right there and just tack it in place. Get your next door plugs lined up, work it around, make sure you get all the way over to the top edge and make sure that one's perfectly centered as well. And then you can tack that down permanently. Then we're going to take our module, which has already been unclipped, move it out of the way, tack that edge down, lift up these wires that are hanging out right here, make sure it goes up and around this sensor. Okay, so we got all that done. Once that's all done, then you can peel off the rest of your backing. Be careful in this area here not to tear it. So we got that all done, and then we're gonna go ahead and start lining things up right here as best as we can. So in this area right here, we left this little bump out just to strengthen the area. So once that's adhered and tacked down, you can just wrap that around like that just to get rid of it. Okay. So we're just working our way around, top to bottom, making sure that everything's lined up. So I pull it back off of it and then realign here where the door plug goes. Make sure you're getting it tucked under this wire right here as well. The most important part is making sure that all the door plug holes are lined up perfectly, okay? So once it's all down, just tack it down with your hand, rub it around real quick, or a roller if you got one. Okay, that's all done there. At this time, you can actually go ahead and clip your module back in. Very simple. It's got feet that go into the slots. Slide it that way, press it right in, and you're good to go right there. So now we're going to move on to our third and final piece, which is this bottom section right here. pretty simple, self-explanatory. So you could probably you can just take this bottom section right here. You could probably just peel off the whole thing. Probably be the easiest way to do it, because now that you got some experience installing it, you know what it's going to entail. So making sure all the holes are showing through as they should. Boom. Now you're all dialed in. 3-piece SoundSkins kit all installed. Now it's time to put your door panel back on. So our final step is going to be putting the factory vapor barrier back on top of the SoundSkins kit after it's already been installed. So when you are removing it, be very careful, or as careful as you can, not to rip it. If you do rip it, you can use some tape or even some leftover SoundSkins if you have it to patch your holes. So you'll want to feed the cable back through the hole just like that, and then just start tacking it back in place with the factory glue that's already on there, just like so. Make sure you got your holes lined up here. And this is just going to be an added layer of protection for water or anything like that could come through here, like in a heavy storm, something like that. So we recommend putting this back on just for that added layer of protection, okay? So that's how it should look. Once that's all done and it looks like this, you can start putting your door panel back on. So to remove this handle piece, you want to do that before the panel is off. The little trick to do that is you take a flathead screwdriver and right in the middle, you just wedge it. It'll release a clip, and then you're going to slide it inward like so. That'll allow this handle to come out freely, just like that. All right, we're going to be installing our rear door kit for SoundSkins. This is going to be on the 2019 and up Sprinter van. We're going to start with our driver's rear door. After removing the panel and prepping the door, like always, we clean it off real good, make sure there's no dust. We'll start by peeling off the backing on our kit right here. Easiest thing to do is lay it down on the ground. Start peeling off the backing. Reference your holes right here. So start with this one and just lightly tack it in place like so. Work your way across like so, making sure everything's lined up perfectly. So once your door plugs are all lined up like that, you can permanently stick it down, then flip it up and peel off the rest of your backing. Work your way down. I always start with the bottom corner here like that, and then just tack your way up. Make sure everything's perfectly lined up. Leave it loose here. Make sure you're lining your holes as centered as possible there. And once your holes are all centered and good to go, you can permanently stick it down like that. And you can just rub your hand across it, making sure it's stuck all the way around, okay? Once we're done with that, we're gonna put our insert in. Again, always make sure that it's completely cleaned off. We got our insert right here. You can peel the backing off completely on this one. And then you'll stick it up in here. You can see how the fins go up above pieces right here. Move your harness out of the way and stick it down just like so. You're all good right there. Now the bottom half of the door is completely done. And then we also made a top half piece. That's going to go right here, and that's going to go for the very, very top up there. So I'll have to get on the ladder to put that in, but again, make sure it's all prepped and ready to rock. And then clean it off, peel off the backing and stick it. I'll get my trusty ladder. Right, so now I got everything all cleaned off. You take your piece here. This is actually how it's gonna sit. It's gonna drop right in just like so. If you'd like, you can test fit it before you peel off the backing just to kind of orientate yourself on how it's gonna sit in there. And we'll peel off our backing. Set it in at the bottom like so and just kind of work it down at those feet. Make sure it's down in there nice and smooth. And then just adhere it with your hand. That we're going to put an insert back here. So the insert that was cut out from here, that's it right there. Peel off our backing. Got it right there. Just fold it up inside like so, pretty easy. And you're all good to go. So that way we're utilizing all the kit. So you don't have any extra scraps. We're utilizing everything that came with it. So you got that piece in there. Then you'll put your panel back on, and then same way you put this through the hole in the panel, put it in, clip it into place, and slide it outward, and then it clips into place, and then you're good to go. Just like so. So that's going to complete our installation of the SoundSkins kit for the driver's side rear door on the Sprinter van.